Hello everyone, it's me Dingboy, and before we start off with today's episode, I just want to let you know that the R.E.C show is now available as an audio-only podcast. So I'm currently uploading these episodes to Spotify, but I'm also uploading them to Apple and Google Podcasts. So if you prefer to just listen to these episodes, you can search up the R.E.C show on those streaming platforms, or if you want to, you can just go to the description and you can find the links there. So yeah, I just wanted to say this quick announcement. I guess it's on with the episode. Hello everyone, and welcome to the R.E.C show, where the title is random and so are the topics. So for our audio listeners, the show is called the Random Evil Serial Show, because why not? We just thought it up right before we started, and yeah, we'll just go straight on to it. So today we have two guests here. We got RuyGuy and we got CJ and Ruth as the co-host. So yeah, introductions, I guess. We'll just do that. So who wants to go first?
You go first.
No, you.
Who pointed first?
All right, CJ, go first.
Okay, I'll go first. Hi, I am CJ, also known as CJ Knows Mario. I do Rec Room videos, and I do Rec Room streams and Fortnite streams. I just stream whatever I want. I do whatever I want. It's pretty fun. Recently hit 1,000, and going strong. Yeah.
All right, cool. And RuyGuy.
Hello, I'm RuyGuy. I also make YouTube videos. I also like to stream. I do a variety amount of content. I'm only at like 500 subscribers at the moment, but I'm still going. I mainly enjoy Minecraft and Rec Room, so they're pretty cool games. And I do play a lot of Beat Saber, like way too much of it.
I can kind of confirm that because you are too good. Like whenever I try to play with you, it's like on the platforms, it's like I'm just down at the bottom platform.
Those two
and
go
you're
at
at
each
top.
other.
True.
Yeah,
Anytime we
both of
play
these
multiplayer,
two.
it's me and you against each other.
Yeah.
You might have the upper hand right now. I haven't played Beat Saber in like 3 weeks.
Well, the rest of us were like, oh, they're here. We don't get a chance. We'll just play for fun and let those two play the competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we kind of did introductions with them, but how's Ruth? How are you doing? How are you? How are you today? Yeah. How would you say? How are you doing? You know, how's your day been?
Well,
On a scale of 1 to 10.
How much pain are you in currently right now?
well, let's see here. I have poison ivy covering my arms
I shouldn't be
and
laughing.
half of my face. Especially under my chin. That's quite itchy, in my ear. Those are the itchiest parts. You probably don't know about this. These two do. I didn't go to bed last night.
Just stayed up all night.
I stayed up all night editing. I was just editing because oh my goodness, that video. It took me 5 hours to do 4 minutes.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
5 hours to do 4 minutes, and let me not tell you how many hours on just the intro.
I feel that.
I mean, wow. I mean, the thing is, okay, so the way I see it with editing, I don't know if other people see it this way, but the way I picture editing is for every minute of finished footage, you're spending about an hour of editing. Like, if it's like a 12-minute video, I'm like, okay, I'm going to sit down here for 12 hours and edit. Maybe not all at once, but in total, I'll spend about 12 hours editing it.
No, I honestly get risk. My friend asked me to edit a Minecraft montage for him like a week ago, and I'm still not done. It's like 4 minutes
Really
long.
depends on the video. It depends on the video, depends on the editor, and it depends on the software that the editor uses.
It really does. Especially because, like, I used to edit on iMovie. That didn't take that long, but when I switched to Premiere Pro, I noticed, oh my god, this takes so long. Every
Just
video
so
I've
many
edited
new
on Premiere
features.
Pro has taken just so much time. Yeah, it's like so much stuff to get used to, so much stuff to get the hang of, and like you can't just like tap, swipe and stuff. You have to use the mouse. You got the keyboard for different shortcuts. So much more. It's worth it though because the videos look a lot better, but still, definitely a lot.
Yeah, so like switching programs, it's like some people, it's like, oh, like switching this program, it's a lot slower. But it's kind of weird for me because I switched from mainly using Shotcut, which is what SoulFox uses, to DaVinci Resolve. I expected it to take way longer to get used to editing on DaVinci Resolve, but it was actually faster because I always found with Shotcut that it's not a really optimized editor. So like a long time is me like scrubbing through the timeline and it taking a few seconds to load. And I never had that problem with DaVinci Resolve, and it was like really snappy, really fast, and really responsive. So for me, it was actually faster transitioning to a whole different editor that I've been using like Shotcut for over a year.
Well, that's true. And then there's also the points where like you get really good at an editor, and then you swap because the other one's better. But then you have no idea what to do, so it takes longer than the previous editor.
Yep.
Which is basically me like 4 different times.
That first time I used Premiere
way too
Pro.
many editors.
So long. I don't even remember what video it was, but it took forever just to get used to everything. And then of course there's like, I also have like friends in real life that know I do YouTube, and then anytime they want me to do something with them, like, and I'm in the middle of editing, I'm like, can't, working on a video. Oh, I'm working on a video right now, and then they'll be like, it's just a video. Like what? The video's like 6 minutes. That shouldn't take that long to edit, right? It should only take like 20 minutes. You have no idea.
They have no
They have no
clue.
idea.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Nope.
Editing is way longer. It's like, oh, like you're spending about like 15 minutes recording the video. It shouldn't take that long to edit it. The recording part is the short part. That thing that just goes way faster. Then I was like, the editing is like.
I'm
Yep.
actually wanting to learn DaVinci Resolve.
Yes,
tomorrow.
please do. Yes, it's such a good program.
I can't.
Movavi was so easy to learn. My only other experience I've had is like on my phone on KineMaster. Like that.
Oh, yeah,
Movavi
I-
is
I
the
edited-
first
I remember
mobile.
that.
I edited several videos. I would sit on the couch and edit until my phone overheats.
And no,
And I literally have to give my phone a break
put it on
because
ice.
of all the editing I would do on the phone. And then I moved to Movavi. Movavi was easy to learn. I went to Movavi because that's what Mom found, because she needed an editor to edit a slideshow. She was in charge of making a slideshow. And out of like the dozens of editors she looked at and stuff like that, she stuck with Movavi. And so that's how I was introduced to it. And then she discovered she had no time to edit it. So she gave it to me. I learned quickly because Movavi's easy to learn. And I've been using Movavi ever since. But now, I don't know if it's Movavi or if it's my laptop. But I think I'm giving too much for Movavi to think, I think. Because for this 20-minute video, if you like zoom out
Oh yeah,
on
your
it,
videos.
you
Yeah,
see all these
exactly.
tiny cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally dozens of clips that are
yeah.
like 1 second, maybe up to the max is 20 seconds long. That's the max. Everything else is really short. And this is 20 minutes long. I think Movavi's thinking that it's thinking too hard. And so it is really slow with everything I do.
Oh.
I do something, I wait a few seconds. I do something, I wait a few seconds.
Wait, so like, does it freeze on you
tired
or
of that.
something?
Temporarily, I guess.
Yeah, I've been
But
having
not
that
like
same
not
issue.
like a whole computer, not like a whole thing
Yeah,
for
it's just the
froze.
application.
I was actually surprised that it didn't crash. There's a couple times where it almost crashed, where it gave you like the
spinning wheel, like loading, grayed out loading, kind of.
the white screen.
Oh yeah, the white
Movavi
screen.
would
Yeah.
have a white screen, and so whenever it has that white screen, you think, all right, it'll either be fine or it'll crash. And both times it was fine. It was just like, slow down, you're putting too much pressure on me. So I think
is
I've
it- so-
outgrown Movavi.
Yeah, my problem is that like I work on it a bit and then it'll like freeze, but it'll continue playing the audio from when I'm playing it back. So like everything's frozen, but I'm still hearing the audio, and I have to wait to be able to
Yeah,
pause
that
it.
happened to me several
Wow.
times. Yeah.
It's really annoying. Yeah.
That reminds me, like one time, or not really one time, but like anytime I edit, or when I used iMovie, but anytime I would edit on iMovie for too long, it would start to like, my edits that I would make in the video would start to like desync from each other. So I would play it from one
Oh, I
part of the
hate
video
desyncing.
and everything would work like, yeah, it would work like it should. And then I'd play it from the start of the video. Everything is just completely off and I have to find a way to rework it. And then sometimes it would even save wrong. So I'd have to go back and fix it. It was so
Oh,
annoying.
saving
Weird.
wrong. Oh,
I
that
think
sounds
that's a
bad.
mobile issue because like even with Power
I
Director
think
you
it
have that kind of
was.
issues. It's definitely a mobile problem.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It's like with your Movavi, I think I see like a lot of the promotional, especially all the promotional videos and stuff that they do. It all seems like it's like kind of directed for the beginner who wants to make a quick home movie or like a movie with like ad music under it and stuff. I don't think it's directed more professional, like for professionals. You never see like the timeline filled
So
up
I've
as much as
definitely
it's.
outgrown it.
The only two editors that are like really like
Yeah.
designed for professionals is Premiere Pro or DaVinci Resolve. Like DaVinci Resolve, like already like top studios, they were using it for years and years and years. Almost all the movies that are like modern movies and movies way back when, they all use DaVinci Resolve for color grading. Like everyone used it for that reason. And then eventually people realized that it was a good editor and now people are starting to use it for editing and not just for color grading. And then especially I've told Ruth about this, but Premiere Pro has its problems. As you probably have you like gotten to like the crashing kind of like loop?
I actually haven't yet, but I'm a little worried now.
Because like I see like a lot of people,
So
almost
far,
all
so
the
good
people are
though.
saying like who are using it. They're like, oh, my Premiere Pro just crashed. I just lost this amount of like time just wasted, and it's like I don't know. And it's like all the videos that I've been watching, I just and I just know like Premiere Pro is an old program, and then they just keep on adding more and more features onto something. Eventually, it gets unstable because they don't update the core code to it. So
Yeah.
eventually, it just gets unstable that once you push this one thing, oh, it'll just crash. And it's like, I don't want that when editing. I don't want to worry about, okay, is this going to crash when I do this? And it's like holding my breath every single click I do and pushing Control S every time I do something to save. I don't want that, so that's why I just stuck with DaVinci Resolve. And a lot of people are switching from Premiere Pro to DaVinci Resolve for that reason. Of course, there's still going to be those people who use Premiere Pro because they're used to it and they just can't. They just can't switch to a new program because it's just they're on a time crunch. They have schedules they need to keep up, so they just have no time to switch to a whole new program. I get that, but it's like if you can do the switch because it's free. Also, you're spending hundreds of dollars a year to use Premiere Pro when DaVinci Resolve is free. So it's like I don't know. Yeah, that's just my take on the whole thing.
My question about DaVinci versus Premiere Pro versus Movavi. How do they save? Is there
DaVinci
an
Resolve is
autosave?
automatic. It's autosave. DaVinci Resolve is autosave. Every single keystroke that you do is autosaved, or every single mouse click, or everything you do is autosaved. So it's like if it does crash, which DaVinci Resolve I admit has crashed on me, probably a total of 5 times during the year I've used it. I've used it for about a year now. It's only crashed at least five, like no more than 5 times. Has crashed on me, and every single time I open up, and it's right back where I started. I haven't lost a thing. That's what I like about it. It's auto saving, and if it does crash, you just go like right back to where you started.
I know Premiere Pro autosaves. I don't know how often it autosaves. I I'm about to find out soon because
But the
I know
thing
I
is-
was editing a video like at 3 in the morning and my laptop died.
Oh,
so I guess I'm
no.
gonna-
I remember that.
The thing is,
Yeah,
though,
I'm
when
gonna
I
find
see
that out soon.
when I see a
Oh,
lot of these
no.
people saying like, "Oh, it has autosave," but then I have a lot of other people saying that the autosave doesn't work. That it just you get a corrupted autosave. Like every single time it crashes, the autosave is corrupted. That like maybe if you like X out of the program properly, like just push the X button with autosave, it'll work. But every single time it crashes, the autosave is corrupted. That's how I hear people say. So it's like even if it has an autosave, there's no point. And also it just slows down your productivity when it's just constantly crashing on you. So yeah, I just see it. What on earth? Ruth is opening a box, but she's doing it on the floor. I have no idea why. But yeah, that's why I say is like, if you're a person who's just making YouTube videos and it's like, should I get Premiere Pro or DaVinci? Just get DaVinci. Like, even if your school, like, the only reason you would ever get Premiere is
And it's free.
because oh, my school offers like Adobe, like the Adobe suite because I'm a student, and it's like, sure, okay,
Yep.
but just go to DaVinci because you're not going to be in school forever. Eventually you're going to lose
True.
that subscription. It's like, and just why not learn a program that you're always going to use? I don't know. That's just my take on it.
Would you see yourself in being a teacher for DaVinci? For just like
What do you mean?
like go to a public school, and say, "Hey, I want to set up a class to teach students DaVinci."
There's no point.
Could you see yourself doing that?
There's so many good free YouTube videos. A lot of
I'm gonna be honest.
and
I have not found
same
any
with-
good
same with
videos
Premiere.
for DaVinci.
there's good. There's a lot of good. Main thing that I always bring up
Let
is
me tell you why people would go. The group. You can watch all the videos that you can,
that's
but
true.
there's something about the community. You like, why did you take Film Academy? You could have watched videos and you could have figured things out yourself. You went to Film Academy because you wanted the community and you just got friends out of Film Academy. So people want to go to this class because they want to find peers. They want to find people who are also interested in editing. That's the whole purpose of setting up the class.
True.
Also,
I'm
just
not a
being
pro
there in
at
person
DaVinci
has a
Resolve,
weird
so it's
effect
like-
that- True.
Yeah, and some students, they have to have a human being with them to point things out.
I
That's
agree.
exactly
I
how I
agree.
am. Like with my art, I had to take like art classes, so like I can watch as many online videos as I want. I'm never going to learn from them. But like when I took my art class in school in person, I was able to draw
Yeah.
like full on people, full on chinchillas, animals, other things,
Oh,
and I can do it. I can do it well.
impressive.
But like
Impressive.
I tried to follow tutorials online, and it doesn't look any good.
I agree that like in-person teaching is way superior. But the thing is, the reason why I can't teach it is because I'm not a pro at it. I'm a casual user of DaVinci Resolve.
Hey,
I'm not a pro at it.
hey. You don't have to be.
Well, yeah.
They're,
Everybody's
I could
really
learn.
pro.
I
these
could
these
teach,
are for people.
I could teach
These are
people
for
the
people
basics.
who've never touched it. There you go. That's all they ask. That's all people ask for.
It's a public school.
Like
all they
I
give is
can,
the basics
I can
anyway.
teach the basics if you're wanting to make like a simple video, cut, paste, text, transitions. Like sure, that's easy, and I can easily teach that. But it's like for like the huge amount of people who want to do VFX and stuff. Like I'm not good at it, so it's like. But I mean, just for easy videos, YouTube videos, subtitles, text, transitions. That's like yeah, I could teach something like that, but it's I don't know. It just don't really seem like there would be a
Maybe if you were to do that, somebody would join the class who's really good at it just to see how it's being taught. And what if you two just become like teachers together? That'd be cool.
You could learn a few things from a student.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
True.
Exactly. That happens all the time. Even in like being a film academy teacher, like you're expected to like pour yourself out to the student, but in reality, the teacher's seeing all these different skills coming together, and it's inspiration for the teacher, and the teacher learns from them, because every person has their own experience. Every person learns something in a different way than the other. Sometimes it's more information than the other. So it's something powerful about people actually meeting together to converse. I've heard about, like, I don't know if you guys like to listen to adults talk, like your parents over there talking to adults and you just go listen to them talk. I like to do that. One of the topics were people still doing Zoom calls. Don't depend on Zoom calls. You need to meet. That's where real brainstorming comes in. And also, if you depend on your company entirely for mobily, it is easy to hire and fire people. It is way too easy, because you now have no relationship with the person, and you don't know the person well enough that if they're in a certain mood, how to treat them.
True.
Like, if a person seems upset, you're like, is this how they are naturally? Or is this is this them all the time? Or are they just having a bad day? I don't know, because I don't know them personally, because I've only see their face for a couple of hours in a Zoom call. I don't know them. So it is a powerful thing of knowing a person personally, meet them in real life, and then just meeting virtually, I guess, how we're doing now. How would you compare this? How would you compare what we're doing now between real life meetings and Zoom calls?
This, like,
I'd say
VR?
Zoom calls are worse than VR.
Zoom calls are worse.
What we're doing right now, we have avatars.
It's a step up, but it's not the real thing. I would say it's like on the scale of like getting to know the person. Like, Zoom calls are down here, because all you are is just seeing their face. Like all you see is see their face on a flat screen. You don't really have that much interaction with them. VR is up there. VR, I find, is up there. And
Yeah.
when you're not, and with Zoom calls, the main thing I mean, I don't know if it's, I mean, like, it depends. Okay, actually, no, this is actually totally different, because Zoom calls, the only thing you're doing is just chatting. That's the only thing you can do is chat. With VR, and more specifically, like, Rec Room, you play games. You're playing games together. You can't really do that in a Zoom call. You could, like, but it's like, what are you gonna play? It's like, you can't really do much stuff in a Zoom call. But
Rock, paper, scissors.
yeah, but it's like, with VR,
Tic-tac-toe.
it's like, you can do so many things. You could, like, hang out in a cool room. You could just sit by a campfire, talk, and do, like, campfire. You could do a campfire sing-along, in theory, which I think, which I still want to do with Mav. Mav, hey, if you're watching, we gotta do this. We gotta get you, because you are so good at the guitar. I just feel like it would be the best thing ever. Campfire, we all sit around, we do like a campfire sing along. Wouldn't that be cool? Or am I just
I love it.
What would we sing? What would we sing? Do we know?
campfire
any
songs?
songs.
Campfire
Yeah,
songs. There's
yes,
so
I
many.
know,
There's
yeah.
so
What
many songs.
campfire songs? What, and a burns, the ring of fire? That song?
Well, or like,
That's the only fire song I know, unless Set Your
You don't
Church on
know
Fire.
SpongeBob's
That's the only
Campfire
other
song?
one.
there's so many that you
gotta
could
listen
do, but
to
I
them.
think that would be so cool that we need to do that, because the best things that I always loved doing was when my IRL friends got together, is everyone would bring their instruments. You know, we got the banjo player, we got the guitar players, we got like everyone around in the campfire. It's 3 a.m. in the morning, we got a large campfire going, and we're just, sometimes it's not even people singing, it's just them playing, and we're just listening. Best memories. We need to really do that. Anyway, back on topic. Zoom calls, yeah, they're bad. VR is good. You do have more of a physical presence as well, because you got your avatar, and it's like your avatar. It's not just like a,
Everything's 3D.
and everything's 3D.
Yeah.
Every
Body
Like,
language is
like you can,
important.
like I can cover your eyes.
yeah,
See, I can't do that.
and it's
not
also-
only just voice,
it's
but you
like-
also have body language.
yeah. Because if it's
Exactly, yeah.
especially if it's like voice chat only, like you don't have any sort of presence with the person. But it's
That's the thing I noticed about VR actually is like specifically going about body language. It's like when you can tell when somebody's excited because like they move
they're
their
using your hands,
really
they're going
fast.
like this.
They're like really
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah.
And then when somebody's just kind of when somebody's lazy, their heads like often like upwards, and then they're like leaning back,
And
and they're just like their hands are dropped
Oh my
down
God.
low, and
And-
they're just talking.
yeah,
Yeah.
and this is kind of where I feel like VR is growing slowly and slowly getting better and better because of these reasons. Because sooner or later, in like the next I'm guessing 3-ish years, it's not going to take that long until we get facial tracking where you can actually have facial
Yeah.
expressions.
That will
with
depend
real,
depend on the devices too.
and it will depend on devices and which platforms support Rec Room. I don't really see how. I mean, they are kind of already doing that with like
It's
the
not going
IO
to happen. They've confirmed it.
with like the mobile.
Oh, really?
They already did that, but that was more of like an experiment. I don't think they're. I mean, never say never, but I don't think they have any active like plans on bringing facial recognition or facial like not facial. I don't know why I'm saying facial recognition, but like face tracking to their game. I mean, maybe who knows? Maybe there's going to be a new headset that comes out soon from Meta that's like cheap, and a lot of people are going to buy it, and it's got
Meta.
face tracking, so they're gonna add that to the game, and you can like do the same things you can do on your iOS with the face tracking. So I think that's going to add more and more to like the presence that you say of like your body language. So, and then also there's also headsets that are coming out soon that supposedly have full body tracking, which is definitely going to help more. Again, I don't really know how well that work in Rec Room. I mean, the devs said that they're not going to be supporting
Not at
that
all.
as well.
Yeah.
But
Not at all.
Games
They're
like
not
VR
supporting
Chat definitely
anything
could
like
see
that.
that. And so, yeah, I mean, still, again, to bring this all up, there is nothing that's going to match like the like meeting up real life. Nothing's going to compare to that, but things are definitely getting closer and closer to that. Because before we just had voice chat, now we've had video calls, now we have VR with actual characters, then we're going to get face tracking with full body tracking and everything, and it's just going to go more and more from that. But yeah, we are getting closer and closer to IRL.
All these advances. Do you know what the top advance is? Meeting in real life.
That's what I mean. That's what my point is. My point was that nothing's going to beat that. Even if you get to the highest level of
course
technology,
not.
nothing's
No.
going to beat that. But still, we are getting closer and closer. But no matter how close we can get, nothing's going to match.
Do you guys remember the machine? It was supposed to like give you the smells in VR.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Oh, I
Did
remember.
you hear about that?
I heard about that.
Yeah.
But they canceled that because they got in trouble because it was like
It was like
a
pretty much
vaping
like,
device,
It was pretty much like
something like
it was
that.
pretty much a vaping device, pretty much. That's pretty much what it was. Yeah, I kind of heard that it got like it was
Yeah.
made, but then immediately got banned for that reason, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's just, think about if it wasn't banned. It would have hooked a lot of people and maybe even children, because there are a lot of parents that just buy things for the kids. The kids just
Not
say,
without
I want
thinking.
this, and the parents will get it without even thinking. I heard this conversation. We let a lady try out my index, and we're talking about like how you can also do the Quest 2, and she said, "Oh, is that what we got the little boy?" And then she was like, "Oh, is that why he's so loud in that room?"
What?
You know nothing. You just handed it, and then you know nothing.
Okay. How
You
old
just
is it?
hand.
Like,
You just hand. I don't have no idea how old this kid is.
I'd be
But
worried
all
of
I
how
know
old
is
they
they
are.
hand over a device.
That's dude.
It's like the 2-year-olds
No, what?
with iPads.
Also, no wonder why these children are tech geniuses, is because
True.
they literally do figure everything out on them by
Pretty
themselves,
much.
or like
Yeah.
constantly asks on Discord, "Help me, help me, help me."
Yeah. I mean, like Thrillseeker did an amazing
Totally me.
topic on this on one of his videos of children in VR. I think that to a certain level, VR with kids, sure, it's like good if you are if they are at a certain age where they get it and they know how to like be responsible online, and they know like don't give out private
And if the
information,
headset
don't
fits
give
their
out
head.
your like don't give out your real age or your address or whatever. Like they know how to act online. They know how to moderate their time in VR, and sure. And then it's like this also has the parents' input as well, because it's like the parents shouldn't be like, I hear this saying all over and over again that their VR headset is not a babysitter, as many people and parents are doing that. They're like, okay, just go in this room, put on the headset, all right, and then they're quiet. They're quiet for the next 4 hours, because it's like it's just a VR
The
device.
kids
and
are
it's
not
like,
quiet.
I mean,
Unless
The-
they're playing paintball.
the Gorilla Tag
Yeah,
kids,
they're
the
not
Gorilla
quiet.
Tag
But
kids are
all the
just
parents
like,
care
yeah.
is the kid is not bugging
Yeah.
the parent. That's
Yeah.
all they care. Just don't bug me. Don't bug me.
Yeah.
So,
it's not good.
Here's a challenging
Fine.
question. If you go and rant on this stuff, what do you tell your parents? How much do your parents know what you are doing in VR?
I have
Starting
to
with
tell
you.
them everything.
I mean,
I tell them everything by
okay,
choice.
so it's like my parents. Okay, so this was back in 2019. I'm pretty sure none of them realized what VR was, and then as soon as like I've told this story many times, but then it's like when I saw Nathy do that unboxing of like the Quest 1, I'm like, oh, this is actually really cool, and it's got the game Rec Room, which kind of looks cool as well, and I got it, and then first of all, they were like, Quest, what's a Quest? Obviously, like a lot of parents are like, what's a Quest? This was back in 2019, mind you, when the Quest
My
and
dad
Quest
knew it before I
2
did.
never knew what like
Oh,
a
wow.
VR headset was, and they were like, what? So you're strapping this on your face, and it's like you're playing games on it, and I'm like, yeah, it's like, and then you like, you show a few videos of them playing it, and they're like, oh, okay, so that's kind of cool, and they're like, so it's like a more advanced version of like that Google Cardboard thing, and I'm like, yeah, but you got controllers, and like, and they're like, oh,
Of
that's
course.
kind of cool. I
Yeah.
mean, sure, like, okay, and then obviously I bought it with my own money. I wasn't like wanting them to buy, so I'm like, and they're like, oh, so you're buying this thing, and I'm like, yeah, I was planning
Right.
on doing it, and like, oh, that's cool. So I bought it. Obviously, almost probably every single time you come home and your kid plays VR for the first time, everyone's making fun of that person. It's like, the guy's got like the headset and he's waggling his arms like crazy, and then like they would take those
I
funny
had $1
videos
for
of
the
me
amount of
of
time.
me playing Beat Saber and them taking the
Yeah.
funny videos and sending
Yeah.
them to their friends, and like, look at
They
this,
record
look
you
at this
playing Beat
nerd.
Saber.
Look
My
at this,
brother does
look
that
at this
all the time.
nerd. Look
I'll
at
be
this
playing
nerd.
Beat Saber. He'll sneak into my room recording on his phone while I'm just over here playing Beat Saber, playing like expert plus difficulty,
funny.
playing multiplayer.
So that's what it was for the longest time, and it was like I always got made fun of when I was playing in VR, and then I think it got to a point when I was doing it so much and playing on VR and going on every single day for either like playing Beat Saber because that was the main game I was playing, or Rec Room, laser tag, which is what I loved playing too. When I first got my Quest 1, I was a laser tag like sweat almost. I mean, I'm not that good anymore, but that's kind of how I got this, and that's how I got
Stinky.
this headset. But
He was a stinky boy.
But yeah, it's like, and then slowly they just like, all right, fine, like,
She's gone.
like sure,
Gee,
like
you.
it, like if that's what you do, that's your thing, go ahead, because all my other families, like, they were into Minecraft at that time, and they had their thing, and then they realized, oh, apparently VR is his thing, so we just leave him be, and then they just stopped caring about like, oh, what did you do today in VR, and it's like, I'm just chilling, like playing game, and then they now and then would like be like saying, so what did you do in Rec Room today? And I'm like, oh, well, I just like played laser tag as I always do, and they're like, oh, cool. So eventually they just kind of saw it as a norm for me. So that's how like my parents see it and like my family see it. They're like just a normal thing, and it's like whenever and then now and then I mentioned, yeah, this cool game that I was waiting for is finally coming out or getting a trailer, and they're like, oh, cool. They don't really, they just see it as normal.
What do they know about? Do they know about Among Us?
They did. Well, they do, and they do. They played Among Us now and then, but we didn't even play that much Among Us together as a family. But I think they knew that it's like, oh, I heard a trailer came out for Among Us VR, and I'm like, yeah, it's coming out. And they're like, oh, cool. It's kind of like that. I mean, it's almost been 3 years since I've had
Okay.
since I had a VR, and they're just, oh, cool. It's normal now.
Yeah.
I've told
Hey,
my
CJ.
parents like, yeah, okay. I've told my parents like as much as I can about it because I enjoy talking about like VR and that stuff
Same.
a lot. And since
Same,
I'm
but
next
they're
to my
just not
parents a lot of the
interested.
time,
They're
I'm just like,
just not interested that much. They just
it's like half the time they're interested and half the time they're like, hold on, can you repeat that? I wasn't listening. But like,
Oh, no.
it's definitely been going on for a long time where I'll just like do stuff in Rec Room and then I'll tell them like all the time whenever I get the free chance. I'll just be like, hey, so Rec Room did this cool update recently, right? And then they'll be like, oh, okay, go
Yeah.
ahead, keep talking. And it's interesting because it's been going on longer than I thought because I've been interested in VR since like 2016 because around that time, that's when
Oh,
like
wow.
all of the big YouTubers were like doing the HTC Vive and stuff. And I was like, I want to do that. And so obviously like, I'm this, how old was I? I was this 10-year-old kid at the time. And I was like, I don't have much money. I can't buy a headset. The closest thing I had was like the phone VR thing. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I've still got it. It's like somewhere over there. But yeah, I couldn't really do much about it, even though I told them about it a lot. So I kind of just like slept on it kind of until 2019, which also one thing I should mention, one of the games that piqued my interest was Rec Room back in 2016. Because there was a video that Dan
Oh.
TDM made about it in 2016, and I watched it, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Which, again, fun fact, that video came out on my 10th birthday, so maybe it's a sign.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
August 1st. Also, one more thing before I continue is
Noted.
that I keep going back to that video and scrolling through the comments, and there's so many people in the Rec Room community that I know. I found your comment, actually. I replied to it.
I wonder if I could scroll through and see like
Wait, what?
people.
Which comment? Sorry, what? I just
You,
went back to know which comment?
It was, I think it was
Which
something
comment
like,
you
I'm going to
didn't
come back
comment
every
it
year
several times?
in hopes that Dan TDM comes back to Rec Room, something like that.
I forgot.
And
about
I
that.
commented
I did
saying,
not come back
"Well, no."
every year.
Nope.
Oh.
But yeah, so it's one of the things that always stuck with me. And then 2019, I figured out, wait, PSVR, that's a thing that exists. And I'm like 13 at the time, so I'm like, hey, maybe I can get it. Well, this was when I was 12. So it was like going into my 13th birthday. I was like, Mom, Dad, I want the PSVR because it looks really cool. Again, 13, 12 at the time, didn't have much money, couldn't really do anything. So they would hear about VR, any VR news I like found out about or anything that was really cool. Like at the time, I was like, oh my gosh, it uses lights to track. Yeah, it uses lights to track.
Yeah,
Sure, that was
didn't age
interesting.
well.
Nope. But they're like, I guess they listened. They asked me questions like, how much does it cost? And I'm like, around 300. I don't remember how much it actually costed, but it was something like that. So I asked if I could get it for my birthday. Then my birthday rolled around. Did I get it? No. But they did they did get me something for my birthday that I thought was cool. They did like the Nintendo Labo VR kit
Oh,
where it's like cardboard that you put together and put your Switch in. I thought that was really cool.
it's like
So
you want a
that's what I
VR
had.
headset? Okay, I'll get a VR headset, and then it's like they just get the
Cardboard.
complete different thing. It's like,
Cardboard.
is this what you wanted? That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that was cool to mess around with for a little. I did get the PSVR Christmas 2019,
Okay.
so that was only like a few months later, and I was like, oh my
Nice.
gosh, this is the coolest thing ever. It lights up. Again, the lights.
It lights up. It's got
Lights up!
Lights.
Apart from the demo disc that came with it that had like demos for games like Job Simulator, Super Hot, stuff like that, first game I downloaded was Rec Room. I was hooked from the start, And so ever since then,
Wow.
I've been like so passionate about Rec Room. I tell my parents all the time, like, it's so cool. You get to meet all these people in VR. They have their own avatars and they look like themselves or they don't look like themselves. You get to choose what you look like. And they're like, okay, that's cool. Then I start making Rec Room videos and then I tell them about how that's going. I tell them about Film Academy. I tell them about the Film Friends. I tell them about literally anything I can. And they're like, huh,
Right.
seems like you're having a great time on there. And eventually, like, they started getting like really interested on the whole YouTube thing, especially around like 1,000 subscribers. Like, they're really supportive.
yeah,
about
you recently
cool.
passed that too.
Oh, nice.
You recently got 1,000
Yeah.
subscribers,
Yeah.
which is cool.
I remember when I was leading up to it, I kept like waking up and my parents were like, "Hey, did you see how many subscribers you're at? You're almost there." And I'm like, huh, "I am."
Cool.
They were
Yeah.
watching just as close as I was. It was really cool.
That's how my dad is.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I'd like to point out is that, you know, the whole PSVR thing, but like I was looking back at my first Rec Room stream and I had mentioned the Quest 1, which implies that I chose the PSVR over the Quest 1. And I'm thinking about that and I'm like,
Oh.
was that a good idea? I mean, I guess.
I mean,
Well, the PSVR had lights.
yeah.
Lights
Yeah,
did it.
It's all about the light. It lights up.
I mean, so did the
Yeah.
Quest 1 and Quest 2, but they're visible, which is even more cool.
Invisible.
Invisible infrared lights.
Oh, I remember I actually asked for the Quest 1 for my 14th birthday. I didn't get it. Again, got the Quest 2 when that was revealed. Well, I got Christmas, but Quest 2 wasn't revealed yet for my birthday, so Quest 1 was all I had. So I guess
So
it was
plan
kind of
for
worth
Christmas, not birthday. So ask
Yeah.
for birthday, expect on Christmas.
it. Although I will say, my brother did get a Quest 2 on his birthday, like just recently, so I don't even know anymore.
Oh,
It's nice though, we play Rec Room together sometimes. But yeah,
neat.
don't have to hook up the PSVR every time, so yeah. Your turn.
Okay. Yeah, so I much would call a technology nerd. I
As
love technology,
as many
it
of
is
the pictures
fun,
that
it is
you
great.
share in our Discord, we can kind of tell.
I share a lot. I mean, yeah.
Which is
so,
cool. I'm kind of like that
basically,
too.
yeah. So back when
Yeah.
I was younger, back in the PS4 days, like my parents aren't very big on us owning our own technology. But they have gotten more used to it over the years. They're letting me have more and more things. But like back when I was like 9, mainly when I started my channel originally, my parents did not like YouTube at all. They wanted nothing with me to do with it. So I kind of, for like the first 3 years of my channel, I was doing it behind my parents' back.
Oh
So,
no.
That wasn't
How did
very
that
good
go?
when they found out about it.
Oh dear.
So they found out about it. I actually got locked out of my channel for another year. So from like
wow.
2017
Oh my
to late
gosh, wow.
2018, they locked me out of my channel. But then after that, I got back in. And then around early 2018, I got the PSVR. Originally, I didn't really play Rec Room because I forgot what it was completely, even though I watched the Dan TDM video. So I'm just playing a bunch of VR, like Job Simulator, the tech demos and everything that it came with. And then out of nowhere, I just like, what was that VR game that Dan played again? So I went back through all of Dan's videos to find it, found it, downloaded the game because it was on PSVR, and I was like, okay, cool. And yeah, that's when I started playing Rec Room, so I've
We
been
have
hooked
very
ever since.
similar origin
And then-
stories.
Yeah. Dan TDM is VR, man. So yeah, and then a few years ago, back in 2020 it was, I think, me and one of my friends were talking about computers, how I didn't have one and how I wanted one. So he offered that I could buy a computer off of him for like $100. So I went with it. And my parents originally, like, they said yes, but they would have to talk to his parents about it first to make sure that they would.
Right,
But
yeah.
we were never
Yeah.
able to talk to his parents. So again, I kind of went behind my parents' back and bought it anyway.
Oh, no.
So I got caught with that. They took it away.
Yeah, of course.
Well,
Again, like
of course.
Wow.
I learned eventually. Like 6 months later, I was able to get that back. Killed it playing Minecraft by placing a bunch of sand. Fixed my. So like I started getting into more and more into technology. So I was learning to fix computers. So my sister had an old laptop that she
That's
used.
a good skill.
She broke the hard drive. Hard drive just completely died, corrupted
Oh,
itself.
no.
So my parents, being, not very technological advanced as I am, they just say that it's broken and they put it away and say that there's nothing they can do about it. So my sister got a new computer. So I wait a bit, like earlier this year, I walk up to them and I'm like, hey, I can fix this. And at first they doubted me, but, I took it, I fixed it. It's working. It's now my main computer. So, I got to keep it.
Cool.
That's cool. And
That
then
is cool.
for the Quest 2, I actually, originally, I was saving up for the Quest 1, because the Quest 2 wasn't out yet. And then like a quarter of my way towards the goal, they announced the Quest 2, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get that instead. So I saved up, got that.
Yeah.
Yeah. My parents underestimate how much I love technology. And then I guess there's
I
also
remember that. I remember
Yeah.
updating us, saying like,
Updating
I
us.
got more money.
Oh,
I got
yeah.
more money. I found another job. Yeah, we're like,
Yeah, it
you
was
got
great,
it
it was
right,
great.
guy.
It's like now I actually have a job, I can afford things. Thank you. Right, yeah, and then there's actually this computer down here that I assembled using a bunch of old computer parts from previous
Oh
family computers.
wow.
So
That's
it
cool.
is old, but it
Wow.
actually runs modern versions of Minecraft really well, so
Wow.
that's cool.
Oh my
I remember
And then,
I
like-
used to.
like-
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, in like 5 to 6 weeks I'll be buying a computer that can actually run VR, so
Like an actual tower
future,
That is so
computer
future VR content.
or like
Yeah,
a laptop.
Actual desktop. It's like I've already bought the
Nice.
monitor. It's huge compared to my laptop, but
Just go for a custom.
yeah.
Yeah. Custom
I mean,
build
I
or
thought about it, but yeah.
custom is, I mean,
My parents might not let me do custom.
custom is cheaper, so it's like, I don't know, just whatever you can, I guess.
Anyway, what were you saying, CJ?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that I've always been like really interested in like technology and like video games and stuff, especially when I was like younger, specifically around the age of 9, around that 2016 year again. Well, that's 9 and 10, but yeah, it was around then. And like the problem with this was that I love technology and I love like all the new like tech stuff and like I really wanted like a bunch of technology stuff. But the problem, I was 9. I didn't have money. I couldn't do anything about it. There was this whole phase I went through like where I don't know how it started, but I got really interested in like iPhones. Just out of nowhere, I just like I don't remember how it started really, but like I just started watching a bunch of videos on like the latest specs on the newest iPhone, which at the time was going to be the 7, and before that was the 6S. And I was like, guys, Mom, Dad, I want this phone. And like I would just constantly tell them, like, here we go again, like the whole VR thing. I would just tell them about all the specs, how powerful it was. Like you could press on the screen and it does stuff the harder you press it. And I was like, that's the coolest thing. The 3D touch is amazing. The 12 megapixel camera, I still remember a lot of this stuff. But like they saw I was interested, but at the same time they knew I was just a 9-year-old kid. They didn't trust me with an iPhone, which like fair enough.
Well,
But eventually, yeah,
Being
like
young
how
was
most
too
like how
young
most
to
of these
have a phone.
so like how most of these stories have gone that I have told just now. We get to Christmas, right? But this is like 2 years later. I'm 11. And
Christmas, the
out of the
magical
blue,
day.
yep, out of the blue, I like, after I stopped talking about the iPhones and stuff less and less, just out of nowhere, they're like, open this present. And so I do, and I see the little text on the back of the box, because I opened it from the bottom, and it said 32 gigabytes, and I was like, oh my gosh, no way. So I got the phone that I wanted. It was 2 years late, but I did get the phone I wanted. And I treated that phone well. except for this one time where I took it to school and I didn't have a case on. I like bumped it against the ground and the top of the screen cracked, and I was like, oh no.
Oh no.
It was so
First phone
devastating.
Oh my
screen crack
goodness.
is always devastating.
Yep. And yeah, I made sure to be careful whenever I have a phone around me or really any piece of technology. Luckily, no more cracks on anything yet. Well, I mean, I guess, okay, that's kind of a lie. I had that same phone. This is a few years later. My brother took it, and I don't remember why he did this, but he took the phone, no case on, and just threw it
Why?
straight at the stairs. I
Oh
don't know.
my.
It didn't
Oh, was
crack,
he
but
like
the
a
screen
toddler?
started doing some weird stuff. No, he wasn't. He was like, I was like, I don't even remember.
And I'll do it again if you don't shut up.
Okay.
Oh no!
This couldn't have
Wow!
been. Hey, you want to tell the story? You want to tell the story? It's all fine now, obviously. There's no problems. Tell the story. Come on. All right, I'll tell it myself. We got it repaired, right? And then we gave the phone to him. I don't know what happened. Like when we got, I don't know what they did when they got the screen repaired, but that screen was not strong. Dropped it on carpet like 3 times and it like shattered, which was really bad luck.
What?
So yeah. But everything's fine now. New phones, you know, good stuff.
Gotta tell everybody everything.
Yes, it's an interesting story. Do you want to say hi? He's staring at me right now.
Hi! Hello!
Hello,
Just
CJ
saying hi.
brother.
You want to say hi back? It's the film friends. It's Ruth, Dingboy, and RuyGuy.
Hi.
Hi!
What are you in here for anyway?
Huh?
What are you in here for anyway?
Because I heard you.
Oh, were you just... Okay, fair enough. So yeah, that's the phone story. But ever since then, no more cracks. Everything's been fine. I mean, I did drop my iPad face down the exact same corner as my phone, that cracked. But other than that, everything's fine. I can't believe that timing. You walked in the room. I had a feeling that would happen.
Bro, I heard you.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm on like a whole podcast with Dingboy, and the story, it's on the podcast now. You're on the podcast. Anything you wanna say?
Not a podcast.
Just ask him if he wants to. Ask him if he wants the story in
Because
the
you're busting
podcast,
through the
because I'll
door.
cut it out if he wants.
Do you you can cut it out if you want, unless you want to keep it. It would be funny if you kept it in, but you can cut it out if you keep it. Okay, we're good. He's good.
Okay, good.
Yay!
funny.
That was a good story.
Oh, what a legendary moment.
Why were you
Because we were on the topic. We were on the topic about technology, and I wanted to tell them the story about how my phone broke. Yes, it was fitting. It's everything on this everything on this podcast. The topics are random, just like the name.
It's interesting
Yes.
hearing about you guys, like just figuring out technology by yourselves, and like your
Yeah.
mind. You just have the minds
What?
for
Did you just
technology.
hit me with a shirt.
You're gonna get tagged by your brother now.
We're just trying to be
Sure
serious
you are.
and just
Anyways,
why not?
I do not have the mind for technology in a way.
He's spinning the chair.
I'm
Oh, no.
I'm kind of
Oh,
like
no.
I guess a consumer of it.
Spinning the chair that you're
So
in.
that makes me the oddball of this group.
Spinning up.
But my little brother, he's 12 now.
Okay, hold on.
So my mom had a problem with her laptop, and this is her work laptop. This laptop is very important, and if something goes wrong, it's like the end of her world. It was having some problems, and she was talking about like I need a new laptop anyway. I need like a more powerful one, and just stuff like that. And then the next thing I know, she gave my 12-year-old brother permission to unscrew the bottom and pull that laptop apart.
That's how it begins.
I don't know
That's how
exactly.
it
I
begins.
don't know exactly what needed to be done, but he took it apart, and then he was able to put it back together properly, and it's working just fine.
Give him like 2
Just
years. He'll tell you
it's
exactly
crazy.
how to build a
Yeah.
PC.
It's
Give him
impressive.
like 2 years.
And,
It's
like, I
gonna
remember
happen.
my older brother, when he would tear things apart, he would never put it back together. Now, it was just, like, junky stuff, but it was just, like, constantly projects taken apart. Like, for all we know, he was just, like, wanted to be, like, like, you know the YouTube channel, What's Inside?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, I just want to
Yeah.
see on the out, what's on the inside. Okay, alright, now I'm done. There's some people like that. It's just like, like, hi, I wonder what's on the inside. Okay, I don't care that I destroyed it. I'm done with it now.
Oh, sorry, you wanted me to put it back together? Nah, you gotta ask somebody else.
Alright, I'm gonna quickly take myself off push to talk so I can now give my
Okay, be careful. with the
origin story of VR, I guess. I'm actually curious if I need to stop scratching myself. Shoot. I'm curious if one of you don't know this story because I've said it a few times, but the whole reason why I'm in VR is because of my brother-in-law. He
Yeah.
had his eye on VR for a really long time, and he got himself like college. So you know when a kid's in college, the money's tight.
Mm.
And like my sister and my brother-in-law like were really determined about no debt whatsoever. So they lived on an extremely tight budget, but they did well. And whenever they wanted something, they would scrap things together and they would get it. That's what happened with the CV1. Scrapped the change until it grew to enough money that got themselves a CV1, and they played it. Like you would call my sister.
Wait,
Like a gamer
wait!
girl.
You
She
never,
played
you
it.
never,
But-
wait! You never told me about your sister. All this entire story I know, but you've always just mentioned your brother-in-law. You never mentioned your sister was into it.
True.
I've heard
She's not
little
anymore.
like, facts about her.
But
She's
she
not
was.
anymore.
But
I don't.
she
I don't.
was.
She was.
I
yeah.
never knew this.
She was playing. What was that? What's that? What's the game called? I think it was something Dead. Where like, I don't know. She was. I remember watching her.
Walking
She had
Dead?
like.
I don't
It
think the
probably
game was out
Walking Dead,
yet.
I don't know, but
the
she.
game wasn't out yet then.
All right, but it was something about like, she's in this old like porch or whatever, and she has pistols, and you have to like do this to reload and then shoot them. Like, so you see her like
I
doing
know.
that.
Until Dawn, Rush of Blood.
I don't know, maybe, but it's just all
it's
I
in a
know
roller coaster
is she
ride,
was
like
killing
Christmas Eve.
people.
That's not.
But,
that sounds right.
But I remember she was in that moment watching her of a random player joined and asked about like how old are you, and she was in her early 20s, and he's like, really, you sound like a young teenage girl, and she laughed. But yeah, she was into VR, but now she's more focused on the kids. They have 2
Yeah.
kids now.
Yeah, understandable. But that's cool.
they
I
have
never
children.
noticed that they
Yeah.
were interested in it as well. I never knew that.
Oh, she worked really hard to get that CV1.
Huh.
She played a big part into it. But yeah. Now how they got it to my family. So they live about 2 hours away from us. Whenever they come down, he packs his PC and CV1. He tears everything down, because you know you have to have those bases.
Yeah.
Those trackers. He tears everything down, box it up, puts it in the back. My sister would say she would wait a whole hour for him to do all the packing. Then they would come down, and then he would spend time to unpack everything and set everything up so we could play. And because there's so many of us, you only have so much time to
yeah.
play. Yeah. My favorite game playing was the dodgeball game, but now you don't throw it, you shoot it.
It's the Smashbox
I don't
Arena.
remember what it's called. Yes. I believe that's what it is. But I enjoyed that game. That was our favorite. I remember the first time hearing about Beat Saber. Now, for me, growing in a large family, I learned to I trained myself to not be the little kid running up saying, "Let me try, let me try, let me try, let me try." Oh, now I kind of learned that because when I did do that, it turned out scary situation for me a couple times, like being the first one to rock climb.
Oh.
My first experience, I was like, let me try, I want to be first, I want to be first. And the next thing I know, I'm stuck in the middle of the wall scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've learned, like, don't be the first one, just back away, admire the people who's doing it first, and then do it. So that's what I trained myself to do. But I remember hearing the story about my older sister and brother, the not married sister, trying out Beat Saber. Now, I didn't hear the word, the name Beat Saber. I remember hearing them talking about, like, you have the swords and you hit the boxes and like you do it with the rhythm of the song. And they were talking about, like, dude, like, because my brother, he tears things apart and then doesn't finish it. They were talking about, like, he was actually pushing himself to finish a song. But just like I remember that. So that was the CV1. For about 2 to 3 years, he would constantly cart that VR device, and I would play the dodgeball. I would play Beat Saber. Now, the hardest level for me was level hard. That was my level for Beat Saber. And then one day, I was hearing about, like, my dad and brother-in-law wanted to do a special trip to Best Buy. The next thing I know, they come back down with 2 Quest 1s. Because apparently both of them had their eyes out for this standalone headset. And when my brother-in-law, like, they packed up the family and they left, and I saw the headset was still on the floor, I'm like, Dad, he left his VR. And Dad's like, no, that's ours. What? We have a VR headset? So of course you only could play it if you have permission, and you only have a certain amount of time. So a lot of people, one little headset. Yeah, it was just crazy. Now the game that I would play was I remember the one thing that I was actually dedicated to. I guess not really Beat Saber, but Vader Immortal 1.
Oh yeah.
Where you get to fight against the bot.
Yeah.
It's like a side game on Vader Immortal. That's what I was doing. So I was like training myself to be a Jedi. But and then of course one headset is not enough. They got another, and then we could start playing together. They got Sports Scramble. So we could play together. And then heard that when it was my turn one day, I saw an extra game in the library, Rec Room. What's this game? Like, oh, your older sister found that in the free, in like the free section, downloaded it, tried it. She's not interested in the game. And so, like, well, I want to try it out. Might as well. It's free. So I just logged in her already logged in account and went to the rec center. And, like, just overheard conversations. Like, this is interesting. Then eventually got, soon after that, got an account of my own. Played. I don't remember how in the world I started going into Rec Room YouTube. But I remember the first 2 to 3 people. It was Harry, Bothia, and Soulfox. In that order.
Same with me.
In that order.
Same. It's funny.
And But I remember, like, I watched those guys, but then of course, stuck with Soul Fox because he's more relatable than the other two. And, like, I even remember if uh, babysitting when the kid is asleep or whatever, and even though he's not live streaming, I would watch the whole live stream, even though it wasn't live. But, but, like, this was also during the time when I was doing my YouTube channel for just like real life events. Like I was looking into like, hey, I really like editing. Could I do this thing? What I do? Do I make skits? Do I continue to family events? Do I become a vlogger? But looking at these channels, I'm thinking, is it possible to do what they're doing?
Yeah.
Is it possible? But then we come to the problem. The Quest one does not record your mic.
Oh yeah.
So me and my brother were
forgot it used to not do that.
But me and my brother would Fanor would brainstorm about like, all right, so I be the camera and record you doing a tutorial or whatever. So I'm not only recording you, but I'm also picking up your mic, because that was the most important thing. If we want to record anything, we have to do it together. So we constantly swap camera views to get each other's mics. So that was our plan. That was how I was going to do YouTube, is by me and Fanor doing it together. But apparently I was more interested in it than he was. But it's just like I came to the situation like, okay, we're only doing talk, but I can't really depend on this. This is nothing. This is not a foundation. I need something better than this. Like I told myself, I need a group if I'm going to do this at all. And then Film Academy came. I have no idea how I learned from it. All I knew is when I learned about it, I was trying to figure out how to get in it. Like, I didn't know Rec Room had a website. I didn't know there's a such thing called Discord. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not a nerd or anything like that. This is just like how I got into it. It's just because I like editing. That's the whole reason why I'm here. But I remember missing the first class. Soul Fox was live streaming it back when they live streamed the classes. And so I'm like, I missed it, but I'm still gonna get in.
The first class?
I missed the first class, but I kept begging on Discord until I got in to this, till they let me in on the second class. But yeah, ever since then it's been like that. And he doesn't know it, but I'm actually surprised he doesn't know. But when he mentioned that he was a Quest 1 player, like I was, and he figured out how to do some things, I was just like copying him.
Just copying it.
Yeah. It's like, it seems like you figured things out. For example, when I've said, yes, I would help you. Yes, I would help you for your skits. One of the reasons why I was helping is because I was thinking, okay, 1, I want to know people. 2, I want to see how other people are directing and stuff like that. And how are they working? How are they leading the people? That's why I went. And so when I saw you standing still to record like this, that just told me how to record on the third person view. Or how about doing it with you, doing it with a group of people, and you had a friend come in with a streamer cam. Like, that was fancy. Someone with a streamer cam.
Here's a fun little fact about that. It's like the first
It was
project
Keen.
the first week of Film Academy, we actually didn't have King on our team. So the first few
I remember
little
that.
bits of what's it called, Dr. Evil or whatever.
Yeah, Dr.
Some of it was actually recorded by me doing that exact same thing. So just me standing still.
But yeah, and as Film Academy is you have a deadline. You have to post a certain video once a week. And I scrambled to create a YouTube channel because I didn't have a YouTube channel. I didn't decide to use what I was already using for real life. I'm glad that I thought of that ahead of time. Keep it separated from real life. So created a new account, YouTube, and I figured that I thought it was required. You had to have a video or two up on YouTube. So overnight, I uploaded my first 2 videos on YouTube. And of course, they don't have my mic. I use text instead to subtitle what I would be saying if I were to say anything at all, I guess. But yeah, ever since Film Academy, I vowed to one video a week. Doesn't matter how I do it, but I have to do 1 video a week. Now I'm still pushing myself to do 1 video a week, but I'm being a little more wise with it because I know what it looks like if I rush it now. Because I've had bad experiences with that. But for example, today is Sunday. I post on Sundays. The video is currently uploading to YouTube, but I'm not uploading it until tomorrow. 1, I want to review it. I like reviewing it first to making sure it's fine. And 2, it's too late. I might still do it. Like I've done it several times where I would edit all day Sunday and then post it in the evening. But this time I want to make sure post it early in the day. Give people plenty of time to watch it instead of evening where they're like, oh, she posted, but never watch it and then forget she posted. So, yeah. And I'm really grateful to be in this group, the Film Friends. I'm really glad we created this group at the last minute. I remember when we were like, what was it? The 3rd semester of Film Academy was starting. And we're like, the 3rd semester is starting. Guys, stick together. We need to find a way to stick together. Don't be separated. Quick, make a YouTube channel. I remember you two.
Or Discord
I think
channel.
you two were...
Discord server. Not a channel.
Discord server. Right, sorry. But I remember, like, okay, we're going to make it. What are we going to name it? I remember typing up film something, and then I remember the next one was Film Friends. And then you created it, you gave us the Discord link, and we got in, and the rest is history.
I still remember asking Harry and getting denied about the chat, saying that it was going to be dead. It's not.
Wow.
It's been quite active.
You know,
my origin story is pretty much like similar though, almost like pretty similar to yours. Of like, I didn't start making any YouTube videos until I did Film Academy, and then after Film Academy is when I started to make my videos.
I've been doing videos forever. The more I think about it,
True.
The more I realize, I feel like the reason. Classic. That is one of my favorites, definitely. The more I think about it, the more I realize that the reason why I'm in this group is so close to just being a random chance every time. Because I started Rec Room and I had no plans on doing Rec Room videos because I played a lot of Fortnite at the time, still do, and so I just made Fortnite videos, made Fortnite streams. Because that's what I was enjoying. And then I started Rec Room. I did a Rec Room stream. And I was like, okay, this is pretty great. And then I don't know how, but the first Rec Room YouTubers I started watching was Harry and Emily. They were the first 2. And so I would always watch their stuff. And then it led me to the Rec Room YouTube channel. And so I remember seeing a thing about it was Rec Room highlights. I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, seeing all these clips from the community. Keep in mind, I've only been playing the game for 2 months. I don't know. But yeah, and then I was like, okay, maybe I can submit my own clip. First time I submit a clip, it gets in. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Wow,
but before
that's
it got
cool.
in, Harry went on the original clip and commented saying it was funny. I woke up that morning and I was freaking out. He only had like 7,000 at the time. And I was going crazy. I was like, oh my gosh, the real Harry commented on my video. I was telling like all of my family, like my parents, my brother,
Of
and I
course,
was
Yeah.
like,
as you
this
would,
is
yeah.
insane. Yeah, and so then I like kept doing my thing, did a couple streams, did a couple videos, and then I noticed Film Academy. I saw it start up for semester 1. I was like, that looks interesting. And then semester 1 ended, and I watched like the graduation speech video, and then at the end, like they said that there was a link in the description for semester 2, and I was like, why not? Best decision ever. And this all just
Fun
decided by like,
fact.
I guess so. What were you gonna
Harry sent us in a draft of the graduation video and said, all right, does everything look all right? Did I spell all your names correctly? He spelt my name as Electric Ruth.
Electric. Electric.
Like,
Wow.
seriously. And my story is also similar to yours by family, where you tell your family everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they know everything that I'm doing. They know all about. They know all about Freddy. They know all about RuyGuy. They know all about CJ. Like a little girl could pop in and I'm saying I'm talking to RuyGuy, and she would know who I'm talking about. And
parents know
so
nothing.
there. Even my parents know your guys' names. Yeah.
That's
so
not
cool.
weird at all.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It's like just like.
Yeah. They know your real name. Yeah.
But it's like when they know their name and they know everything about me, but I've never met them. It's like,
Wait, they know our real names too?
could you imagine? Just
Now
just
yours
being
is a
voiced.
bit unique. Yours is a bit unique. I have to work hard to try to remember yours, right, guy?
I don't
but,
remember.
I mean, you
Um,
can just look back at the DM. I did send it to you.
True. But what was I leading to? Oh, parents telling you like, hey, did you see how far you're going in subscribers?
Yeah.
My dad is actually watching 3 YouTube channels. My YouTube channel, my older sister's YouTube channel, and my brother's Minecraft channel. So, like, here and there, he would look at it and kind of like monitor, like, oh, she's getting close to 100 subscribers. Like, oh, she's getting close to 10,000 subscribers. Oh, he almost got 100 views. Stuff like that. And that he actually during lunch pulled out his phone, like checking my older sister's YouTube, and like, oh, she's only 1 subscriber away from 300 subscribers. I'm like, really? So I pulled out my phone, screen recorded me subscribing to her, and then sent it to her. And then she Marcoed. I don't know if you guys know about Marco Polo, but my family uses that. She Marcoed my dad because my dad said, like, hey, you're so close. And I quote, she said, my sister's a nerd. Because I sent the recording of subscribing, and so my sister said to me through, of course, my dad's phone, you better watch all of my videos that I sent. You better watch them and not just subscribe.
not just subscribe and just leave you on red almost.
Right. I watched a few, to be honest. Not all of it, just a few.
It is always cool to have like
Yeah.
the family like invested in everything, which again reminds me like back to the story, like when I did the film thing, like I remember I was waiting so long for signups to open up. I was telling them about it and they were like, okay, interesting. And so the day came that signups opened. We were like in the middle of getting in the car to go somewhere. I don't remember where we were going, but I checked my phone and I saw the notification. I was like, oh my gosh, I got it quick. I was the second person for semester 2 to sign up. And then I got in and I was like, guys, look, I got in. And they were all very clearly happy. They're like, oh, nice.
You're like, yay!
And so we did the-
Good job. CJ."
I remember we did the classes, everything. They were there the whole way, and then we got to graduation. I live streamed it on my channel. They were downstairs in the living room watching my live stream and then watching me do my whole
Nice.
speech. It was so cool. And then
Upset I didn't get
after
to do my
that,
speech.
oh yeah, it was after Film Academy had ended. Like I remember only 3 of our group members made it in. There were 6 of us. Only 3 of us like made it to graduation, and only 2 of
Yeah.
us continued to do YouTube anyway. It was me and that's Norit.
Really? Nort was in
Yeah.
your group?
Huh.
Cool. Yeah, Nort
Actually,
is
now that I
great.
think about it, if I remember correctly, I don't even know if he was one of the 3 that made it to the end, but he was one of the only ones that continued doing YouTube anyway. So I thought that was really cool. And so, by
My
random
controller just died.
chance... Oh, that's not good. But by just, like, complete random chance, I'm in a rec center one day, and then, I'm, like, looking at the shop, and then I hear someone say, wait, CJ knows Mario, you're from Film Academy, and I turn around, and the person that was talking to me was none other than Fireboy.
Huh.
That was the
No
day that, like,
way.
yeah, we met each other in a random rec center. We were in the same class, and we remembered each other. We weren't even in the same group. And so that's when our friendship started, and then just, I remember, apparently you guys were, like, in the Film Friends Discord server. You were asking, like, if there were any more Semester 2 people we could add, and then Fireboy added me, and that's how I got into Film Friends. It was so out of the blue, I just checked my phone, I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this now.
Ooh, Fireboy.
And I'm
So,
glad
yeah.
you're here. I'm glad you're here. Sorry,
I'm glad I'm
and
here,
I'm
too.
sad
I'm glad
that
I met all of you.
Fireboy is gone.
I miss him a lot.
There was
Yeah,
like
he's got his
Yeah.
own things to do now, though.
to like talk about like other people like finding your channel and like what you do. It just any of you find it like I don't know, like embarrassing almost. When it's like whenever it's like
Oh, for real? Oh, people in
it's-
real life seeing
it's like
your YouTube channel?
well, it's like and like family and relatives and stuff. It's like it gets like awkward or something.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
we were at it wasn't a family reunion, but it was like we were meeting for something, and it was like all my older relatives and then some of my second cousins that are like around my age or a little bit older,
yeah.
and we were hanging out for the entire evening, and then it's like my sister is always the one that makes fun of my channel, like just like to other people, because like my brother he's in VR all day and he's like recording videos and stuff, as an older sister would obviously be making fun of their younger brother. So anyway, they were like, so then all of a sudden we were in a conversation with my cousins, and then all of a sudden they're like, so how's your YouTube channel doing? And I'm like, who told you? Because I did not mention it, and they were all like my age and older, so it's like really funny. It's like, so how's YouTube channel going? And I'm like, who told you? And they're like, was it my sister? And they're like, oh, well, might have been. So obviously my sister is like sending my YouTube channel link to all my
Oh,
second cousins and
no.
relatives, and now they know what I'm doing and like weird VR stuff that they probably don't know anything about.
Now,
and then they're like, so how's
it
YouTube?
can be pretty cool. It could be a cool thing. That like your relatives know and stuff like that. Like maybe it gets them into it and then you guys play together. But for me it's so what's your YouTube channel's name?
Eh.
And I'm thinking like I don't want to tell you because I
See,
know
I couldn't.
you're
like,
gonna research it right in front of me, subscribe to it, and then do nothing after that. I know what you're gonna do, but it's just rude not to say it. So I
My
say
sister
it,
already
and then
told them,
right
so
in
it's
front
like
of me,
there's like no point.
they search. I watch them search my YouTube channel's name, push the subscribe button, and then put their phone away. I'm like,
Right. Thanks.
seriously, I know you're
Love
not.
it.
I know you are not interested in this stuff.
Yeah.
So why did you subscribe?
Also,
Because they're thinking like,
like-
I'm supporting you,
Yeah.
and you're like, no, you're not supporting me if you subscribe and not watch it. That actually hurts my channel.
kind of.
Right.
But it's funny because it was also obviously it's like my parents, mainly my mom, loves to brag about me because I have a YouTube channel.
Well, she's your mom.
Of
Let her
course.
do
So
her
it's
job.
just so we're at this. I'm gonna say it wasn't a reunion. Let me just say it was a get together. and we were at our own tables, like the second cousins, and we were all hanging on a table, and then all these other people who were older, like they're my old aunts and uncles, like great aunts, great uncles and stuff. So they're older, they're like 80 up. It's difficult trying to explain to someone that old, and like, so my mom told me, you make films and videos and films, and it's like, what's that? And I'm like, oh, it's YouTube. And obviously they're like, what's YouTube? And like, oh, it's like a thing you go on the internet and you watch videos, and they're like, what's the internet? And it's like it's like very difficult to explain to people who are like, what, internet? Yeah, it's like those kind of like aunts and uncles, so it's like very difficult to explain what you're doing, and it's like, you can't explain and go.
Another awkward moment.
You can't go too much detail because you know that none of it's gonna make any sense to them. But it's funny that it's like, yeah, they're interested, but yeah.
I guess I'm kind of lucky. All of like my family is like been caught up on everything. Like everyone, it's not a secret at all. Everyone knows I do YouTube. Everyone knows what YouTube videos I make. They're all subscribed.
Yeah.
They watch my videos too. So like, yeah,
Oh,
they all
cool.
understand. So it's
That's
really
good.
cool. But like, it's just sometimes like out of the blue they'll bring it up. Like just out of nowhere they'll bring up like, hey, I saw your newest YouTube video. I'm like, oh, cool. But like, okay.
Do you know what my cousin says?
What?
He said, I couldn't watch your YouTube video because of parental lock. Because it was a paintball video, so it had guns in it, and parental lock refrained him from watching the video. That's what my cousin told me.
Wow, paintball in a
Yeah.
Sad.
But yeah, my family knows about VR. My mom's
My
parents
brother's
are
back
pretty
is
much,
getting the chair.
they're caught up on technology. They have the, what do you call it? Ring connected to their doors,
Yeah.
and
like the doorbell.
Alexa and stuff like that. So whenever something happens right in front of the door, you would hear throughout in the entire house, my grandparents' house, motion detected at the front door, or motion detected at the back door. It's crazy because it can be any motion. Literally, it was raining one day, and you would hear motion detected at the front door.
Well, of course, it's
It was just raining.
windy.
Somebody's just got to run back and forth in front of
Or
that
even
camera.
even a spider. So when there's motion detected, of course the camera would quickly record that clip, right? Now sometimes you'll get a random clip of a bird flying by,
Yeah.
or like my grandma would say there's this one time of a spider just crawling by. Like, okay, an intruder, a spider, okay. But it's just, but yeah, my grandma uses it all the time. For like a timer, she would say like, computer, start a 5-minute timer. Or computer, remind me this. She uses it all the time. I remember, I think my grandpa, so my mom's dad, learned how to use Facebook on his smart device faster than us. I remember, so I was probably like 5 years old, or maybe, I don't know, just young age. We were climbing up an old, it's not a tree house, it's just like a box up in a tree for people to go up and spot deer. But like we climbed up, like, oh, how many grandkids can we fit in that? And then Grandpa took a picture, and then by the time all of us got down, he said, all right, it's uploaded to Facebook. And my sister like popped her head over like, what, already? Like, yeah, it's on Facebook.
Huh.
And she's like, you did it that fast? And he's like, yeah. So he's caught up on technology. They both have their share of looking in virtual reality. I remember every time they visited my sister's house, they got their heads in the headset. But my dad's side of the family is kind of a different story. It's not easy for my grandma to text, I guess. So they're not they're kind of up to date, but they just can't comprehend it completely, or at least my grandma can't, and she's she's actually struggling a bit to remember stuff, so it's been quite hard for her to remember anything, just stuff like that. But yeah, I remember my grandpa getting the opportunity to try on the headset. I don't remember if it was the CV one or the Quest one, but he also got a chance. I don't think Grandma ever did. She's not interested, but yeah. My family's tech updated, mostly. Maybe not as completely as comprehendingly understanding everything immediately like you three.
Yeah.
At least not me.
Yeah.
Not me. Yeah.
I let my mom try Beat Saber, and it started like a whole competition between my mom, my brother, and my dad to see who could get the best score.
Oh, that's cool.
I did
Yeah,
that
it
once
was a
with my
really fun
family.
night.
I played in Rec Room with my mom.
The person in my family that can closely rival me is my older brother.
Oh.
But even then, he can barely just do Expert Plus. So like all my family's on like easy, normal. Like you've got my older brother on Expert Plus, and then there's me just like up over there.
Yeah.
Up and away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't play with them because I can't.
Wow. That was
Are
quite
we overtime?
well, but not overtime, but it's getting there, so I think we should probably be ending it soon. It's already been an hour and a half.
Okay.
Which is like the time just flies.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Alright, so that's going to be episode 2 of The Rec Show, which this week it was called The Random Evil Serial Show. Random topics, random titles, kind of the slogan of this whole show. So anyway, yeah, thank you so much for CJ and RuyGuy for joining us, and also Ruth as co-host. So as always, we'll have their links down in the description of this video or whatever place you're listening to this podcast. So yeah, thank you for joining, and we'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.